I also took English 101 and 102 for my junior year, so I have credits from that. And this program has been just really great to me. I didn't know that I even wanted to go to college. I really was putting that to the side. Now I know that I do want to go to college. I want to become a veterinarian. And yeah.
How many credits do you have for college?
I don't know specifically. I do know I think I have maybe 8 right now.
How many? I'm sorry?
8.
8, okay.
And for overall my high school credits, I have 24.2 credits right now. So, yeah.
You only need 20.
Thank you, Angelina.
Is this close enough? Okay. Hi, my name is Kishi Talabi. I just graduated from South, and I took 3 courses overall through the early college program. And
Where'd you take them?
Huh?
Where'd you take them?
What school?
Which school did you go for the credits?
Oh, I went to both. I took classes for both Worcester State and QCC.
Okay.
Yeah. So at first, it was actually really tough, managing, adding more classes with high school and, clubs and all. But looking back at it now, I definitely know that it helped me, better my time management skills, which makes me feel more prepared for college. Now when I go to college, I'm like, okay, I know how, what I would do differently than I did in the classes. And also it also provided an opportunity for me to explore courses I wasn't sure I would like web development. I wasn't sure I would like that, and I really like it. So yeah, that was a great opportunity for me, and yeah.
Were you thinking you were going to go to college or not?
I am. I'm hoping to get into Worcester State next year.
Say again?
Worcester State?
Okay.
Yeah, next year, yeah.
So you kicked the tires on Worcester State, you thought it was okay?
What? Sorry.
You kicked the tires on Worcester State and you thought it was okay?
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
yes. The answer is yes. The answer is yes. She said yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Can I have a question? You talked about web development,
Yeah.
but there was an exploration period of time, maybe before you landed on web development as your thing. Can you just describe that a little bit more?
So I like STEM courses. So, but I've always drawn closer to biology and math and stuff. So I wanted to explore the technical, tech side of it. So computers, web, and all that. So that's why I decided to take web development. But I also took a bio course also, so it was great.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, like that? Okay. My name is Jocelyn Figueroa, and I graduated from Claremont Academy. So I took one early college course class because I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to college too, but the counselor was like, oh, you should do it, try it. So then I tried it, and I think it was worth it because now I took after that class, it was a health career class, and I took time to see if I liked it. I struggled through it, and it helped me decide towards the end what major I would want to do when I go to college. And it helped me choose veterinarian. I want to do veterinarian too. And I think it was worth struggling and the time, because it helped me, because next year I want to go to Worcester State too. And yeah.
You referenced a counselor.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit more? Because that's important, that you're interacting with people who are encouraging you to consider
Yeah.
this option.
Her name is Miss Ramirez, goes to Claremont Academy. I think it's her first year in my school, and she encouraged me to take the risk and just try it. Yeah.
Right.
And you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I felt it was for me. The course was what I liked, and it taught me
Did
a
you
lot.
take it here, or did you take it?
Yeah,
at-
Worcester State.
Okay.
Maureen, are you doing something special with your counselors to train them around how to
Yes.
interact with the students on this opportunity?
Yes, so we have a focus on college and career readiness. So all ninth graders, too, we also have staff. All ninth graders have to take a 10-week course on college and career readiness. And then we also offer it in 10th grade. So our reimagining high school includes all of the staff, not just the counselors, knowing how we connect every subject to college and career readiness. So not only the counselors are doing the mascot model, they also are going into classrooms and teaching inside the classrooms about college and career readiness, as well as being the conduit to have those private conversations with students about their future.
That's great.
Thanks, Jocelyn. Now we're over here with you all.
Hello, my name is Fatima Tafai. I took classes at both Worcester State and QCC. I took 6 classes. I took both humanities, social science, and science classes. My first class was
Where'd
actually...
you go to high school, Fatima?
I go to Doherty. I graduated a week ago.
Hoorah!
My first class was at Worcester State for the early college. And I had my first moment of being lost on a college campus. I was looking around, trying to find which building my class in, and I finally found it, went into class. You know, being in this program has really given me a lot of skills for college. You know, just being with my professors, learning to go to office hours if I need them, learning to use things like Blackboard, which I use at both schools, and that's where I can communicate with my teachers, upload my work. I took different classes, so one of the classes I took was actually a class in public speaking. So it's good for this moment.
You'll probably never be able to use it again either, right?
I also took a class in psychology, which means I can read everybody's minds right now. I took a class called STEM Careers, which I learned about it was STEM careers and public health. And this class was like an amazing class for me because I wasn't thinking about going into science or into the STEM. But when I took that class, it made me just know that there are many careers in both medicine and science. It's not only being a doctor or a nurse, there are so many. In that class, we had a lot of people from different careers who came and spoke to us. And another experience that was really important to me was having the mentors. So for every class that I had the mentors. And one of my mentors, you know, he was actually interested in neuroscience and psychology, which was one of the fields that I was interested in. And I got to go to office hours, and he used to be there, and I would talk to him as well as other mentors I had, and I learned so much from them about their experience being in college and what tips and advice they had for us. You know, from every class that I took, I learned something new. My first 2 classes, I was able to take them on campus because it was before the pandemic. The first class I took was a Latinx class, which is about Latin American history. And it was funny because at the end of the class, I was friends with everyone. But I realized that everybody in the class spoke Spanish, but I didn't. That was interesting. We had to speak during the last class, and everybody stood there speaking Spanish. And then I was just there standing, and everyone's like, "You're going to speak in English, right?" And I did, even though English is not my first language. You know, just meeting also students from different high schools. I know all these girls right here, and we're all friends from classes that we took, and we're all from different high schools. It's been amazing meeting different people, meeting professors, getting lost and finding buildings. Overall, I loved my early college experience. It was not what I expected. It was definitely better. At first, I just thought it was like high school classes. You just go in, take the class, and you just learn the material. But it was definitely much different, and you get more of a college experience. And it showed me like college is much different than high school. And it made me very much excited about going to college and about my future experiences. Overall, I loved this program and I loved meeting all the people and the professors. Thank you.
Fatima, what are you going to do next year?
I'm coming to WBI.
Stayed in the neighborhood.
That's great.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Julia Rivera. I am currently a junior at Worcester Technical High School. I am in robotics and automation, and what the early college program has done for me is that it made me, I currently have a job at the Dana-Farber Cancer Center, and when I was applying, they specifically asked me what science and math courses I was taking and how were those courses like affecting my future plans after high school. At the time, I was enrolled in biotechnology through the early college program, and I strongly believe.
You say a third year in college program?
I'm sorry?
Biotechnology.
Biotechnology.
Biotechnology, what'd you say after that?
I strongly believe that without this class, I wouldn't have been accepted to work
Where were you
there.
taking the biotech class?
I was taking it at QCC.
I thought you said it was a third year class.
Oh,
And I was
no.
like, oh my God. Okay.
But they asked me, well, what courses I was taking, and I was able to put biotechnology on there, which made me seem a stronger candidate. And at the time, once I got accepted, they started teaching me modules about different biology topics, and I didn't realize that what I was learning in the biotech class was actually correlating to this internship. So it was really helpful because I had like a base and foundation from this one class that I could apply to my internship. Overall, the early college program has really just made me realize what I wanted to do for a future career. Before, I also took psychology because I knew I wanted to do something with medicine, but I didn't. There's so many careers involving medicine that I didn't know specifically which to go to. But after I took psychology, I narrowed it down to that I wanted to work with medicine, but not necessarily with people. So, which led me taking biotechnology. So overall, it really helped me decide what I wanted to do in the future, and it also opened up a new opportunity where I can work on cancer research this summer, and that's pretty much it.
Are you going to take some more classes next year?
I'm planning to, yes.
Awesome.
What's really important is the starting early to explore, and you've all talked about this. Sometimes you get to college and I'm not sure what I want to do, and then you end up in a situation at the end of college still not knowing what you want to do. You have done this exploration
I'm still trying to figure out what it is.
early, and so now have a path forward in what you find a love in. So that's very, very valuable. Can I ask you to just comment, when you've got these credits and you're going on to college, what year are you starting in college? For those that are going on, like you're going to WPI, are you starting off as a freshman with credits for that year, but you could end up graduating from college early because of that, yeah, a lot early.
Hi, everyone. My name's Anna Luong. I recently graduated from University Park Campus School. I started taking early college courses as a freshman, and so you can imagine, as a freshman, woo, college courses. But it was, like Fatima said, it was not what I would imagine at all. It was something that I really enjoyed because it was an opportunity for me to network with other students. In addition to that, I took 5 courses over my high school career, and my favorite class, I would have to say, is a class called First Year Experience, which I took at QCC. That class was actually a class that introduced me to overall college and how to pick a major, how to talk to a professor, how to email a professor, how to build a resume, and I found that useful as I took it in the senior year. And so it was something that was as if I had already started college as a freshman, and sitting in on college classes like as a first generation student going to college, I hadn't really known what college was about, how to apply, like the difference between talking to a teacher versus a professor. And I think the early college program definitely helped me get used to that and got me comfortable to being on campus and just talking to people with like higher education, as I didn't have that in my own household.
And what prompted you to do that as a freshman?
As a freshman, like I said, I was a first generation student, so I hadn't really known. I think that one of the things that I found most helpful was that my counselor actually recommended it. So I definitely think that having counselors to give that option to students is very important in your high school career, because just having that, having the opportunity to take classes that are outside of your comfort zone is something that we will be doing as both as college students, and I think being prepared as a high school student to do that will help you advance your college career.
Well, it also means you get to start your college career ahead of people who haven't taken any early college classes, because you've already got those under your belt, which
Definitely.
is terrific.
I just, on the internship, some of you talked about an internship, and that was pivotal because you actually could test out what you thought you might like, and now you're planning on, that's your path to a job. I don't know if part of the counseling involves connections to employers and jobs and internships, but that's also a key piece of
Well,
it.
Worcester Tech does a lot of that.
Yes.
So it first started out through a program called Age Prep, which was given by my guidance counselor, and then that one program introduced me to this other program, which gave me the internship. So it really, and then it was, without my school and like without my guidance counselor, I probably wouldn't have even gotten this internship or like even known about it. And the early college program just made it more possible, because I believe it made me seem like a better candidate, since I had like a science foundation behind it.
That's great.
Aaron, where are you going?
I'm going to Harvard this fall.
I've heard of that.
That's great.
Congratulations. And batting cleanup.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me. My name is Chantal Zuzi, and I just graduated high school, Bancourt High School. That's where I went. I remember going to school. I was new to the country and was resettled in the United States in 2018. And my guidance counselor introduces me to this amazing program, which is early college. And she told me that you can do this. She just gave me that ability to believe that I could. And I took the risk because I was learning the language, and English is like my fifth language. So I was like, how am I going to do it? My first class was computer science class. I never have dealt with computers
Chantal,
before.
where was it? Which campus?
At QCC.
Okay.
I never have even, like, I didn't know how to open even a computer and all that. I was really brand new to the country, and I learned how to, I took that class, and that class prepared me so much that I got a scholarship to MIT, and I was able to take computer science classes at MIT. I took photographing, I took English 101, I took sociology, and sociology was really amazing and interesting. I learned a lot of like time management and just how different college is than high school, because nobody will like tell me, hey Chantal, your work is due next week. No, it's like you know your schedule, you know that this work is due this date, and just being responsible that has been really one of the advantage of taking early college classes. And I was able actually to graduate in 3 years instead of 4 years, because I had enough credits in high school to graduate. And And this was really huge for me to graduate earlier. And now I have around 12 credits in college, I think so. So I hope that I will also graduate college earlier. Yeah, I'm just so grateful for this program, and I took other classes at Worcester State, and so yeah, I'm really grateful for this program, and I hope that this program will continue to brighten the future of so many young people out there who need this kind of opportunity to help them in their future. Yeah.
Chantel, where are you going to school?
I'm going to Wellesley College this fall.
My mom went to Wellesley. She graduated in 1952. That's a very long time ago.
Wow, that's amazing.
So you have some interesting people here with you today. You have several members of the Great and General Court. You have Senator Gobi here at this end. You have Senator Moore here. You have Representative Roy, who is a huge believer in early college and carries the ball on this one hard in the legislature, which we really appreciate. You have Representative O'Day, Representative Rogers, Representative LaBeouf, and Representative Lippert-Garabedian. And, you know, it's a Friday, it's a holiday, and you have 7 members of your legislative delegation here to hear from you, which I think speaks to how seriously people take this opportunity. And you also have the Commissioner of Higher Education, Chris Gabrielli. You've got Jim Peyser, who's the Secretary of Education, and you've got Jeff Riley, who is the Commissioner of Elementary and Secondary Education. And you also have your QCC President, who I think, how many of these kids, almost all of them are yours, aren't they,
Yeah,
Mr. President?
We're offering the bulk of the classes, and then but we feel it's important that they experience both the 2-year and the 4-year, and that we create the transfer pathway. So if they continue with QCC, they can go on and move into a bachelor's degree or enter the workforce. So we're trying to develop tracks for them.
And you've got the president of Worcester State University here as well. You got a lot of people here who really wanted to hear from you, so I really appreciate you taking advantage of the opportunity. And the Lieutenant Governor, as you may know, Karyn Polito, is a Worcester person. She makes sure that we never forget about Worcester and state government and Boston. So do you want to say a few words?
I just want to say how proud I am of you, the students, each one of you individually, because you had to make a choice, and the choice was not an easy one, given that you had no one immediate in your life or perhaps home to say, go ahead, you jump in, go forward. But you had that in you to do it, and you made a great choice. And that clearly is unlocking great opportunity for you. It couldn't be a better day to spotlight and highlight this program than on Juneteenth, being an important holiday and now a national holiday, and clearly one we're acknowledging today in our Commonwealth, because to me it represents that we need to be intentional around creating more opportunity for all people and all students. Some of you have come to this country more recent than others, and you clearly are all first generation earning college courses and credit, which is really tremendous. I would say, as the STEM Council Chair, all of you are lined up with pathways to jobs that are really important to our economy, not only to your future, but to the future success of this Commonwealth. So I'm very grateful for that. And we need you. You're all staying close by. You're staying in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and we need your talent and we need your commitment to these careers and jobs. So we're grateful for that as well. What I am concerned about, and I know I probably speak on behalf of the legislators as well as all those here at the table, that we need to do more of this. You represent a big collection of talent, and I want to thank the superintendent for being the first in the state to incorporate this program in every high school in the Worcester Public School system. That's to be commended. And we want to spotlight this today so that we get others to follow your lead and see that we address these opportunities with more resources so that we can have more students on these pathways like you. So I learned a lot from hearing from you directly, and I want to say thank you for sharing so much.
So Jeff and Angelina and Keisha and Jocelyn and Fatima and Julia and Aaron and Chantal, I just want to say on behalf of the administration how proud we are of what you've accomplished and how bright your futures can be. And I remember when we first started talking about this early college program, most people thought that it would be a program that would primarily be pursued by kids in the suburbs and kids who were already going to college and already knew they were going to college and had parents who went to college, and they would be the ones who would dive in and take full advantage of this. And it's actually been just the opposite. 50% of all the schools in high schools in gateway cities have early college programs, and 62% of the kids who participate in early college programs are kids of color, and 50% of them come from households that are determined to be, I'm not even sure what the right word is, working and lower income. And the reason for that is, I think, pretty clear at this point. First of all, it is an opportunity for a lot of kids who don't have college in their homes, or anybody who went to college, to kick the tires on college in an environment that is familiar to them through a program that's built into the relationship they already have with the high school that they go to. The second is, it's free. It's a way to earn college credits, which is in many respects one of the greatest challenges, especially first-generation kids and kids who don't come from families with a lot of money have when it comes to completing college, which is they run out of resources. The best part about this is you're not just banking credits, you're also banking free credits, which you don't have to go earn and pay for again. Really important. The third issue is the benefit that comes with discovering what you enjoy and appreciate out of those college courses. And every one of you talked about the fact that it made you think a little differently or lean in a little harder to an area that you were already interested in once you actually got a taste of the program. And the final thing is, it gives all these schools an opportunity to get to know you and gives you an opportunity to get to know them. And in many cases, a lot of the kids who end up in early college programs end up going on scholarship to the schools that they got to know and got to know them as they were part of their early college experience. And you put that whole package together, and it's an incredible opportunity to create a big leg up through a program that clearly works at this point. I mean, there are literally tens of thousands of credits that have been earned by kids since this program began. And we're looking forward to continuing to expand it and working with our colleagues in the legislature and folks in municipal government to find opportunities to do more with it. We do have 5 new programs that are going to get started in the fall. One is in Gardner with the Gardner Academy for Learning and Technology, who's partnering with Mount Wachusett Community College, and the High School of Commerce in Springfield, which is going to be partnering with Springfield Technical Community College, North Quincy High School, which is going to be partnering with Quincy College, Quincy High School, which is going to be partnering with Quincy High School, and Waltham High School, which is going to be partnering with Framingham State University and Mass Bay Community College. So you folks are part of the trailblazers who hopefully are creating a big wide path and a welcoming one for all kinds of other kids to pass through over the course of the next years and decades. And we like this program so much, we tried to bake it into the statewide education financing formula. I continue to believe this should be in every district in Massachusetts and in every high school in Massachusetts. And it should especially be in all of those communities where kids don't have somebody in their household who's been to college, and this is such a great way for them to get familiar with it and for those schools to get familiar with them. When this guy was the commissioner at, or the superintendent of schools in Lawrence, they developed such a positive relationship with Merrimack and somebody else. Was Northern Essex? Merrimack gives out 10 scholarships a year, free rides, 4 years, to kids who go through the early college program in Lawrence. This is great stuff, and we really appreciate you taking some time to chat with us about it. I do want to give the other folks up here, I don't know, Representative, if you want to speak to this, or Luis, if you want to speak to this, or Commissioner, or Secretary, or Barry.
Well, thank you, Governor, and thank you for the kind invitation to be here today. And I'm so delighted that so many of my colleagues from the legislature are here. Hearing the transformative impact on their lives, I got the chance to talk to them a bit before the program started, and I'm just excited. And Fatima, I reminded her that I started my career at Worcester Polytech. I learned the hard way that I was not going to be a computer scientist, but it worked out all right. Senator Gobi and I toured all 29 of the public higher education institutions when we chaired the Higher Education Committee together. And I can tell you from that experience, we would often talk about the excitement and transformative aspect of the early college programs. And we resigned that we were going to do something about it. And I worked with Chair Gabrielli, Secretary Peyser, Commissioner Riley, and Kate Lipper-Garabedian, who is a representative who formerly worked at the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, and Dave Rogers, who's now chairing higher ed, and Senator Moore. We did a program down in North Carolina. It was virtual, but it was in North Carolina. We're talking about these experiences and what we had to do, and we've crafted a piece of legislation that we hope to get to your desk. We know that we have 29 great public higher education institutions. We have a total of 106 higher education institutions. There's no reason why we can't do it in all 351 communities. And we're going to hope to work hard to get that legislation on your desk before the edge of the session that will provide funding, that will provide a pathway for credits to be issued to students so they know what credits they're going to get. It will provide an office of college and high school that can administer these programs and take advantage of not only early college, but we have innovation pathways, we have credentialing, we have a whole host of post-secondary experiences that we hope to translate and get to your desk before the end of the session. So thank you for the opportunity to be here. And I'm so delighted to hear these stories. These are the types of stories we heard going across the Commonwealth, and so refreshing to hear them time and time again. So thank you very much for the opportunity to be here.
Before I came here, I was in California, and they have a very strong early college programs there. And I had the privilege of working with the Oakland Unified School District, and they have been able to get over 1,000 students through the early college program in a matter of a couple of years. So when I came here, and the early college initiative was beginning, I remember Maureen and Barry, and I got them together and said, we need to do this, and we need to do it in a way that is systemic. We can't do it piecemeal. In California, a lot of times it was piecemeal. They didn't create pathways to success for the students. They didn't align the courses. We worked hard and made this happen and added mentorship because we know it could transform the lives of students. Minority students, low income, first generation. I'm first generation. I'm the first in my family to go to college. I wish they had this program back when I was a kid. It didn't exist. But the amount of experience that you're getting is going to be transformative. And I know as a first-generation college student that you can feel a sense of self-doubt when you go to college. Do you belong there? This takes that away. You've already been to college. You've done it. So you have the comfort level, and it's been transformative because if you look at the statistics, it's about a majority of the students are low-income, first-generation, minority communities, and it's transforming their lives, and it's making a difference. And the success rates is amazing. The number of students are getting A's and B's and passing and going on to places like Harvard, or even better, to QCC. And Worcester State, I think it makes a difference. We're preparing the generation for the future, so I commend you for the work that you've done and encourage you, but tell your friends. Tell your friends about it, and I'm going to keep on working with our team, making sure that Worcester State has been a great partner in providing mentors, because it's not just about getting you credits, it's about getting you jobs and getting you prepared for that. So congratulations for all that you've done, and thank you. I'll be talking to Maureen about some ideas I have about expanding it.
Mish, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'll be brief. Education, K-12, is complicated, and often there aren't easy answers. Early college is an easy answer. The evidence behind it is overwhelming on the impact it has on kids. To help them get in, feel supported as they start college, but then they actually persist and graduate from college. And those are two important things that we need to have when we get our kids in the K-12 space. And so my hope is, I just want to thank everyone here for all the advocacy they've done. This is obviously near and dear to my heart, and just so proud, amazed but not surprised by the kids, because the kids are not the problem. They're never the problem. It's just getting the adults organized. So I hope we can do more.
Jim?
So I didn't know we had to get the adults organized, Commissioner. Now you're setting the bar really high. But obviously there's a lot that's been said already, and I fully agree with everything. The one other point I guess I would make is that, we think about this as an on-ramp to college, and it clearly is, but it's also a way to make high school a much better and engaging experience for students. It makes them better high school students as well as prepares them to be better college students. And as the Commissioner is fond of saying, engagement is really the sort of the secret sauce, or the lack thereof, that makes high school either a success or a failure for far too many students. And by creating these opportunities to see what the world is like outside of high school, to see a path to their future, to get a better vision for what their future could be, and for what success means, and build that confidence while they're in high school, it just makes high school a much stronger experience for everyone. And so, this is really a path forward, not just to make college more accessible and more affordable, but to make a high school a more successful and meaningful experience too. Mr. President.
Yeah, thank you so much, first and foremost, for everyone being here on Worcester State's campus. It's great to have this event here on campus and have you all get a chance to come on campus on a beautiful Friday afternoon. I will be very brief and just say that I'm echoing everything that has been said before. I would add two additional thoughts. One is on the academic course offerings that are provided are high quality. I don't want anyone in the room to think that the courses that these students took were somehow watered down or were somehow modified for the high school students in a way that was below standard that would be expected in a college classroom. These students have taken college-level rigor in a high-quality way. Secondly, I want to point out, I think one of the special sauces in the Worcester pilot and the Worcester project has been the wraparound services that we provided to support the students outside the classroom. That is something that is labor-intensive, but I think each of the students mentioned their advisor or the advising they received, the guidance they received to get them either started in the program or continuing in the program. And I think that what we saw today from these wonderful young people is that these are students that have been able to achieve, have been well supported, and now are poised to go on and do great things at public and private institutions here in the Commonwealth and beyond. So I congratulate our partners, and I mostly congratulate the students. What a wonderful afternoon to sit and listen to some great stories. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm happy to have you here at my alma mater, and for the students that, how many of you said you're going to plan to come to Worcester State? A few others. Dr. Gonzalez, no? And Chantel, you do a very good job with English. You can teach maybe Representative O'Day. He still struggles with English language. Well, there's always people at the bottom of the class.
Oh my God! Note to self, do not get into a debate with Senator Gobi.
But you know, it's great to see the partnership, but what makes this work is you. It's for the students. If you didn't step up and want to take this opportunity on, it falls flat on its face. So I'm really here just to congratulate you and thank you for doing this. And, you know, it does take some more money. Maybe that $5 billion would work out really well. What do you think, guys?
Hey, the cities and towns got 3.5 billion of their own, and the schools got 1.8 billion. Anybody who says this is a money problem is not telling the truth.
We always would like a little bit more.
Well, you have.
And
this
we
in your-
do, I know,
in
and
the
it's
budget,
great.
the
That's
Senate and
right,
the
that's
House, you've
right.
added more
That's
than-
right. So this is a great program, and I agree, as Jeff said, 351 cities and towns. It does need to be expanded, because I was just at Tantascwa High School before this and spoke to some of the students there. And I said to every one of them, I said, if you had an opportunity to do this, would you do it? Every hand went up in that class, every hand. So thank you very much. Chris, we'll pass it over to you, I think, for a minute.
Sure, thank you. First off, thanks for the adults who got together to make this happen, and Worcester has a reputation of being a place where things get done differently, and it is impressive, the level of integrated, coherent approach. Congrats to the students. These are just opportunities. You have to seize them, and you have. You're all really impressive young people, and you've stepped up to these opportunities, and just because the opportunity is there doesn't mean it's seized, and you probably have some classmates who should have seized it and didn't. Then they're not up here. You are. So I want to close by saying, you know, in the 20th century, we organized a lot of things around institutions. It was simpler and easier. You were in high school or you were in college. You were at Quinsig or you were at Worcester State. It was easier to keep track of people and say, you're just here or you're there. In the 21st century, we expect, for whether it's on our iPhone or in our lives, that things are organized around us. And this is organizing schooling around you. You, 8, were ready for college. Why should you wait? Why not organize college and high school to serve you when you're ready, to support you, to help you see the differences and prove yourselves out? It's really exciting to see it. Thanks.
Let me just say in closing how much we appreciate, again, Worcester and all the work that the university's done, and Quinsig and all the work they've done, and Maureen, the work that you and your team and all the folks involved have done. And I really appreciate the folks from the legislature coming today to join us. And to the students, I would just say, you're building yourselves one heck of a path forward. And we wish you nothing but luck and success in the future. And as several people said, we can create opportunities, we can provide support, but people got to grab it and run. And it's always so awesome for us when we have a chance to hear from you. And good luck with wherever your path may lead you. And again, thank you for joining us today and telling us a bit about how this program became part of your life and your future. Thank you.
I'm glad we did this. Thank you. I really wanted to come and.
These are great pilot programs.
Yeah.
good stuff. Yeah. Do you guys have anything you want to ask about? Hey, how are you, Kristen? Is there anything on topic? Say again? The best part about this program, in my opinion, is it gives kids a chance to kick the tires on college who may not know if college is for them. And time again, the kids who get involved in this program, typically in conjunction with people in their high school and a nearby college, discover that not only can they do college work, but they enjoy it. And somebody who may not have even been thinking about going beyond high school is suddenly thinking about where they might go to college or what they might study. And it opens up all kinds of pathways and avenues. The other thing it does is they build credits that they get for free. So by the time they do go to college, they start with this giant academic and financial head start. And finally, a lot of the schools that they take classes at really like the kids and end up giving the kids a scholarship, so that the kids end up with a big head start financially, a big head start academically, and a school that's already invested in them when they show up to finish their degree. And I think in many ways, we should do so much more of this, and I'm thrilled we had so many folks from the legislature here who seem so vested in it as well, because this is a program that can really change people's lives, and most of the lives it's changed so far have been kids coming out of gateway cities, first-generation college students, and there's so much possibility and hope and opportunity associated with it. That was a long answer, but you can use whatever works.
Actually, I'll stay on topic. But I know there have been calls from you too to expand the program. So how realistic is it to think that every Massachusetts public school student could have this opportunity and the system handle that?
Yeah, I heard, I mean, first of all, I think people can figure that out. We do have 106 colleges and universities in Massachusetts, many of whom I'm sure would be interested in this if we worked with them to put the program together. I was really thrilled to hear Representative Jeff Roy say that he wants to get a bill to our desk by the end of this legislative session that would make this program available in all 351 cities and towns. And with the resources that are available at the state and local and the federal level at this point in time, I don't think this should be a resource issue. I think this is a great way to provide tremendous opportunities for kids, and especially kids in communities where people haven't necessarily thought about college as an option for them.
On the other topic, I wanted to ask you about mask requirements in schools, because we've been hearing that there's been some clarification for administrators at the school district level for what's going to happen in the fall and even summer school for mask requirements.
Yeah, I mean, I think our view at this point is the fall should basically be what we would describe as business as usual. And unless there's some development associated with COVID between now and then, and we can handle that under the existing public health orders that are already in place, we should expect that when kids go back in the fall, they're going to be going back to a school that looks and feels a lot like the one they went to before COVID.
And what drives that decision?
Well, if you look at just the Commonwealth of Mass generally, you know, we have more than 4 million people who are fully vaccinated here at this point, and people are still getting vaccinated every day, and that number will continue to go up. We have no communities in Massachusetts anymore where there's a significant presence of COVID, and the data is overwhelming at this point that schools don't spread COVID. I mean, we have a testing program that we run every week in about half the school districts in Massachusetts, and the amount of COVID that's present there has never been more than 1%. In many cases, it's been below 0.5%. So the data at this point is just coming back to us, and it's overwhelmingly clear that COVID in schools going forward just really isn't going to be, should not be an issue. It's always possible something could happen. If it does, we'll make adjustments. But I think our message to people at this point is school should look a lot more like it did before the pandemic.
Thanks, everyone.
Fall and summer?
Yeah.
No masks in the summertime?
We don't think kids need to be wearing masks at summer school either.
And any concerns about those younger kids who aren't able to get vaccinations yet?
There are currently additional studies going on with respect to, I think, 2 to 11. We expect at some point those studies, those clinical trials will be done, and we'll obviously, if the results of those clinical trials are positive, we'll make sure we make those vaccines available to people here in Mass. But again, at this point in time, where we have way more than half our population fully vaccinated, a lot of other people who have who are in line or who've gotten a first dose. We expect that over the course of, I mean, we're not going to stop vaccinating people. We're going to continue to run our vaccine programs on a very micro-targeted basis all the way through the summer and into the fall. And we'll continue to vaccinate those kids who are of school age who are eligible to get vaccinated. And by the way, there are now scholarships available through our Vax-A-Millions program for folks who want to participate in the lottery, as well as $1 million bonuses. And sign up for that starts on July 1st. And if you don't get fully vaccinated, you can't play.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Have you asked the teachers about that at the teachers' unions? Have they been consulted? Are they?
On which piece?
On no masks.
Well, they've certainly had lots of conversations with the folks at DESE, and that's been the primary source of those communications. And I think at this point in time, with the number of people who are vaccinated in Massachusetts and the incredibly small amount of COVID we saw here through that weekly testing program we were doing, we think it's, and the amount of school loss that took place over the course of the past year. Remember, we have tens of millions of dollars that we and others are putting into summer enrichment and academic programs for kids as well. And I think everybody would say we have a lot of work to do to make up for what's been lost as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you switch out?